So, welcome to the E-commerce Leaders Series podcast, the podcast dedicated to helping our founders and operators navigate the future of e-commerce in the age of AI. I'm your host, Eric Bidinger, the co-founder and CEO of Luca AI, and today's guest is Borja Iribarne, the founder and CEO of ProfesorCBD. Borja has built one of the leading educational and e-commerce platforms in the CBD space, helping consumers navigate a category that's often filled with confusion and misinformation and competing claims. So we're super excited to have him on today, and we're going to explore trust, content-driven commerce, customer education, e-commerce growth, all those super interesting topics, and how a business like ProfesorCBD can build authority in a highly competitive market. So Borja, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, and thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely, very glad to have you on. So for our listeners who may not know your story, can you tell us about yourself and ProfesorCBD, how you started and what inspired you to build a business?
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you have said, my name is Borja Iribarne. I'm from the town of south of Spain called Malaga, but we are based in Madrid. And about 8 years ago, I have a personal problem because my mother, fight with a cancer. And once she finished this medical problem, she had another medical problems, and she wasn't able to, to use ibuprofen. I don't know if it's correct to say that in English, ibuprofen. Yeah, but she had, pain in the fingers, arthritis, and problems to sleep well. She was able to sleep, but not to rest. And once she told me, Borja, maybe could you help me looking for a product than in another, market as Canada, United States, or United Kingdom, people are using, and maybe you can find something for me. And I faced with CBD because Trudeau was legalized all the cannabis in 2018 in Canada, and I proved it with my mother. Of course, CBD didn't get all her problems out, but she started to feel much better. She started to have less pain, to rest, not only sleep. And in that moment, I have an idea maybe, and my question was, is the Spanish market ready to get this cannabis molecule as the solution of their medical or just recreational problems? And I started to try it. I created an e-commerce. I started to sell products for other providers, European providers. And I started to sell from the first month, not much, just only 1,000 euros, but I wasn't, I have any budget, no budget, €0 of marketing. And in the moment I start to create the structure, the normal structure for an e-commerce or a business, with our P&L, getting more workers in our business, get more employees, we're starting to grow. And nowadays we are one of the leaders of the CBD market in Europe. We are in 26 markets nowadays serving our products. We have 5 different brands for flowers, for oils, cosmetics, for doggies and cats, and vapes. And we are facing this, this problem which have the cannabis in Europe with educational contents and with the best contents we think will help the users to know what is CBD and what it's gonna do in your body. So sorry for the length of this introduction, but more or less this is our history in the last 8 years. I was just I always say I'm not a CEO. I'm just an entrepreneur that I create the model, so I have to be the CEO of the project. and I was working in business like BlackBerry, Research in Motion,
Yeah.
Gold Television, which is the like Sky News there in United Kingdom. We create the football platform here in
Mhm.
Spain, and in another agencies, in another media, and well, there was a moment that I thought I was ready to get risk with my background and try to do my own business. And nowadays it's not working very bad. So let's see if we can finish the product with a good exit or whatever. But we are very happy about this company.
Fantastic. What a touching origin story. And so there's very, yeah, very nice. And congratulations on the success so far. I mean, going from it's interesting, right? We see a lot of people who were struggling with finding product market fit. It kind of felt like for you being able to in the early days grow organically was it's kind of a godsend, right? You know that there's a underlying latent market demand and you're just satisfying it. Um, Speaking of which, by the way, the CBD, it's one of those categories where consumers hear a lot of claims, but
Yep.
often you struggle to know what information to trust. So, how do you reconcile this issue of trust with the consumer so that they can come to your business and um, become repeat customers?
Yeah, I always say the same with our different ads or our contents to our customers, new and recurrent customers. CBD don't do anything. Your doctor will say what CBD can do for you, but don't trust me. I'm just a seller of the product. I will have the best product I can have, with all the analytics, with the best practice, best labeling, everything is going to be
Mhm.
great in my product. But the doctor is the main character which will tell you that this will help you or not. And with that, structure of communication
Mhm.
is how we get the trust of our customer. We are not very hurry in sell. We are hurry in the situation that you are correctly informed, and with that information, you will be able to buy or not. But I don't want to be the one who tell you, oh, you are gonna like Red Bull, you are gonna fly. No, 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 no. CBD can help you for sure, but your doctor will be the person, the main character will advise you if it's good for you or not.
That's a great insight. No, very nice. Um, so you've been in building this for the past 8 years now. Can you tell us a little bit how the consumer understanding around the category has evolved over the years?
Yep. It's completely different, the situation of CBD, at least in Spain, and I think in most of Europe
Mhm.
now, but 8 years ago. I remember when in 2018, I told my wife that I was going to leave a multinational brand to start selling CBD, and she thought I was completely crazy. Are you sure? But anyway, the information about CBD, not only the information that the sellers or the producers gives to the public, but the OMS in Spain, the Mundial Organization of Health, says, and other authorities says about CBD is holding that the CBD have a lot of medical potential. With
Mm,
this, we have different customers with different needs. I mean, when you sell a flower, the flower is gonna be bought by a customer which possibly comes in his past life consuming marijuana, and
mhm,
now he needs another product which smells similar, tastes similar, but don't get high.
mhm,
But
mhm,
you love to have the product on your hands, to do the cigars. You love to be relaxed, but you have children, you have obligation, you have
mm,
to drive, or maybe you are a professional athlete or a professional firefighter or police, and you don't want to be dragged, but you want to be relaxed. This is
mhm,
one of the customers we have. Then to that customer, we don't have to explain because it's like a beer without alcohol, our product. And then there's another customers which have medical problems as pain in the back, arthritis, or other problems, and that's the one we like to communicate them, telling them the same. Go firstly to your doctor. If your doctor says that maybe CBD is appropriate and it's not going to hurt you, we will be here to give you all the information you need, analytics, how can we produce and extract the CBD from the flower, all the information, we will have it for you. But we don't want to be the, like the leaders of the decision. You have to take that decision. Then with doggies and cats, more or less is the same. We always say that your veterinary is the one who have to tell you that this product is going to be good to the skin, to the arthrosis or another problem which have your pet. And vaporization vape is very similar about the flower. People who take vapes, they do it completely recreational. So if they are sure that the product is good and they don't have any, pain or problem, they will take the decision very fast. The conversion funnel don't need much information, just a good presentation, appropriate information, and a good price. And then with our marketing, email marketing and all that type of flows, we will be near of your decision moment to get another product. But more or less, it depends of the customer and the product we approach by one side or by the other.
Right. It's interesting. All the founders, the good founders that we speak to, they always say the same thing. They said, "Oh, it's very simple. You just do ABC, and then boom, and then it works." But
they should be very, very intelligent. I'm normal, so I have to work a lot of the contents, because in this market, I always say the same. To make a business, be an entrepreneur is very difficult, at least in Spain. And entrepreneur in cannabis is completely horrible. So you have to be, you have to feel good with the no. The answer type with no is the first answer we get from the banks, from the Google, from Meta. For no. If you can live with that, you will go on in this company or on this sector, the cannabis. If not, you will have a problem.
It's interesting what you said. I never thought about it, but it's true, right? Like when you're compounding the difficulty of starting a business with the category that you're in, it's kind of like double whammy, right? Like I didn't realize that people like Google and Meta and the banks obviously wouldn't want to touch this, or at least at the time when you started, right?
Yeah, sometimes just reputational, because when I started for my e-commerce, I need a processor for the bank's credit cards, and I went to if I don't remember correctly, it was 12 banks, and all of them looked me as, you are completely crazy. How are we gonna give you a processor for the credit cards? You sell cannabis, that's legal. Of course, it's legal, but then with the age are passing nowadays, we don't have any problem to get that Visa, MasterCard. We are still not working with Stripe or PayPal because by reputational terms they still do not work with cannabis. But then, for example, Google don't feel good with the cannabis ads, so maybe they can leave you serve some ads if you don't say that black words like cannabis, CBD, whatever. But if you don't say that words, it's going to be very difficult to approach that your customers. And with Meta, it's very similar. You have to be rounding all the time the communication about the product to impact your target. So it's really difficult.
Right.
Anyway, I always say the same. Once we go across that problem, is a problem for the competitors, not for us. So it's not so bad.
That's a good saying. I mean, it's amazing. So you've gone from a standing start 8 years ago to now selling in 26 countries and being one of the leading players in Europe. Clearly, the journey has been very bumpy. There's been a lot of wins. There's probably been a lot of desperate moments as well. In that journey, could you tell us what surprised you the most when you were building?
And then we have in Spain and in most of the world the problem with the COVID about
Mhm.
6 years ago, and that could be the end of our business. However, was the point where we were, I think, intelligent as we drive our business to leading the sales in Spain. I mean, my, my our thoughts were most of our clients are consuming flowers. Flowers as about 65% of our sales in that moment. That people comes from the market of marijuana. Now they are not able to find marijuana because you cannot go out to the street in Spain. We are completely inside of our homes, and we only were
Mm.
able to go out to have a walk with the doggy or to go to a supermarket. And
Mhm.
in that moment, we bet in our acquisition channels to get the first positions. And
Mhm.
in the moment we get the first position on Google for the terms flores of the CBD, flowers, CBD flowers, uh, the ball start to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and suddenly was not only Spain, was Portugal, oh, France, oh, Italy, oh, Germany, oh, Slovenia, oh, and was completely crazy. We started to have maybe 30, 40 sales per day to more than 300 per day. We were
Amazing.
was horrible because I was here only with my wife. My wife was pregnant of our first child with the, I don't know, the
The
mascarilla.
mask? Yeah, the
And
mask.
at 10 o'clock every day, my wife, Claire, says, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to be mad or something like that. But we're starting to, develop our business and our brand. And when the COVID finished, we have more than 100,000 customers in our business. So for us was very surprising that a really horrible thing, which was the COVID, was for us a good opportunity to be nearer of the people. I mean, we were very, very, very far from everyone, but thanks for the COVID, we were very near of our customers.
That's amazing. Again, like another beautiful and very humane story, right? Out of a period of distress comes something good, or generally good. So well done with that. Can you tell us a
Thanks.
little bit about like so you went from 100 a day to 1,000 a day. You had 100,000 customers by the end of the lockdowns. What's your setup like today? Like how many people do you employ? And especially, I guess what would be interesting for our audience is also what kind of technology stack you're currently using.
Yep, I'm gonna be very fast, telling our history about our employees
Mhm.
because about 4 years ago, we get the biggest inversion round of cannabis in Spain history. Like it was 1 million of euros,
Okay.
and as I said at the beginning of the interview, I'm not a good CEO. I'm just an entrepreneur. So it's the first time in my life I had 1 million euros to, to spend in different things. So I thought, oof, if we are four and we are getting this money, if we get 10 people more, our sales are going to be incredible. And that was a really good mistake, an horrible mistake for me and for our P&L. When I realized that I was just destroying our P&L and we are not increasing our sales, I do as this, president of Argentina, Milei says, I have the dog, and I start to cut our employees. We were 13, and nowadays we are only 5. But our model is that we have 5 persons in the company, which are all managers of one area, and then we work with freelance and with agencies, because the agencies are incredible. They are updating their knowledge every day, and we are not able to upgrade our knowledge as employees if we don't go to courses or master or whatever. But the agencies are all the time, and nowadays, for example, I'm loving with my new employee, which is Cloud. I call the IA Cloud directly, and I have created 6 agents. I'm very beginner in this fact, but I thought one thing: I need to improve my personal organization, and then I need to improve the organization of my business. So, firstly, I started for me. What I did, I started to look just videos on YouTube and Instagram about, people, EA gurus that says how you have to configure your cloud to get, all the strength of the tool. So I create one skill, which is about my productivity. And every morning at 6 in the morning is connected to my Gmail, my calendar, and my Trello. Trello is the tool I use to get all the things I have to do. And I receive, when in the morning, my little children start to cry at 8 in the morning or 7:30, firstly, I open my Mac, and in 5 minutes, I have all that I should do that day to be very productive. And it's great, because I always forgot one thing or the other or whatever, but with Cloud, it's impossible, and says, these 3 things, you have to do it for sure today, and the rest, if you can do it, will be great, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe this week. Then about it's about my productivity too. I have decided that now I'm able to reply all the mails that all the commercial people are sending to me. In the past, I was working a lot, and when I receive a commercial, just archive or spam or whatever. And now I have decided I can reply to everyone. So now Cloud analyze all my emails every day and have in draft emails the reply very polite and very friendly. So sorry, nowadays what you are telling me is not very. Firstly, things we have to do, but I'm gonna book your contact, and maybe in future, if we have any possibility, I would like to contact you. So I'm starting to be not just a good CEO, but a good person. So for me, it's great. And then on the other hand, I have Connector, my Shopify, Clavillo, Google Analytics, Meta, all my different platforms to Cloud, and she's doing me every day, and it's like
reports.
Yeah, with what happened yesterday,
Right.
in not only numbers, but opinions and things maybe we could face to improve our business. And for me, it's great, because if in every channel, acquisition channel, or just our database or whatever, I have to dive every day, I will be 2, 3, 4 hours, and I'm not sure I'm not going to have that knowledge that Cloud is easy to give it to me. So nowadays I have a co-CEO that I don't have to pay her, well, just $90 a month, and is much more intelligent than me, goes faster than me, so I'm in love. It's helping me a lot.
When did you start using cloud for your personal productivity and the company's productivity?
It's about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in February, March, something like that. At the beginning, I was very slow, step by step, and now I'm creating an agent every week. Yesterday, I create another one, which is connected to my fulfillment business. We are working with Amphora and Big Blue, which are companies from France and from Spain. They have our product. So now I know every morning if I have any possible stock broke, and give me advice. And I love the advice because, it's like a super God helping me, giving me advices, which helps me a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you have a sense? So you've been using that kind of setup, which is amazing, by the way. Well done. You're definitely very sophisticated in the AI adoption journey. What you're doing is definitely the right thing to do. Do you, however, not sometimes fear that the system may be basing its analysis on data that is not necessarily accurate? And do you have that feeling sometimes? And if yes, what gives you this this kind of tingling feeling that something might be a little bit off? And the reason I'm asking, you'll see, it's a leading question. The reason I'm asking is because in our experience, tools like cloud are amazing. We use that as well at Luca every day because they are very, very good. The real value is not necessarily in the intelligence in a bottle that sits on top of that is the interface with which you interact, because ultimately that is very commoditized. It's available to you just like it's available to us, just like it's available to Nike or Iberia or every large corporate in the world and every government in the world. So this layer is completely commoditized. Where we see the value really accruing is in the unsexy bit. And that's the data engineering that needs to happen underneath all of this that no one sees because it's not the flashy, wow, tell me what happened yesterday and tell me what I should be doing in the next week. But the data engineering that sits underneath all of this is so important because it's kind of the hygiene that the intelligence needs in order to be able to base its analysis on well-grounded, well-labeled, reasonably classified data, as opposed to a big mess. You have your data is in a mess, and then you just let the AI loose on the mess and said, try to make sense of it. Our experience is that half of the time it's going to be good, it's going to be able to make sense of it, and the other half of the time it's not going to be able to make sense of it because it is too messy. But it's very difficult to tell which half you're in when you interact with the system. Have you experienced that?
Yep. In my experience, I feel that, and I try every day, from the info that cloud is giving me, I always try to reply. I mean, data is data, and cloud is faster than me in dive inside and get all the numbers. But then I'm all the time modeling the thinking, because I'm seeing that cloud is very, how do you say, is not as aggressive as I am in my business. Sometimes says, oh, this campaign in Meta, the ROAS is not so good. Close and change. No. I will take more money. I will be more aggressive, And I'm modeling the EA, this cloud, to my way of manage my business. According to that, sometimes get like lost and go a step across, and I have to pinch him and say, that's not the way. I told you to do this. Please just stay in the margins I have gave to you because you have made this mistake. And if I imagine a content, I say what you have written, I'm gonna have a legal problem.
Right.
But I think that, and this is more or less the conclusion that I'm taking about the situation of the artificial intelligence nowadays. It's like an alien which have just arrived in the earth. You have to give him a lot of context, because if you don't give the correct context, is maybe tomorrow is Terminator, or maybe tomorrow is an angel. So you have to be careful because it's very powerful. But if you don't give him the correct place to go, finally the result of the core works, artifacts, and whatever will not fit what you are looking to your business. I'm not sure if this is correct, but this is my feeling.
You're 100% right. Ultimately, yeah, the ability to transmit this organizational knowledge into the intelligence so that it can malleably kind of adapt itself to the way you run your company. I mean, this is key. I think the big mistake that a lot of people are doing is that because this intelligence is so powerful, and it really is, it's genuinely scarily powerful, but it doesn't know anything about you or your company, you think that it's like hiring the smartest person on earth that has a PhD in every possible area of knowledge. They start the Thursday with you at your company, and then you said, okay, go and do this without giving any without giving any
without an onboarding. That's it.
Without any onboarding. I mean, obviously, it's just not going to work. Yeah, for sure. Look, this is fascinating. I mean, it's obviously you're obviously doing the right things in terms of deploying the right tools internally to help you run your business better. Do you approach AI? I mean, with fear or with full of opportunities, as it relates to your company in particular?
Oh, in my case, because of my how I am, for me it's full of opportunities. I don't have any fear. Maybe I'm too much optimist, but this is the way I see the life.
Founders are, yeah.
Mostly of the times I'm not in the correct side, but anyway, I think that if we are able, and I'm just not talking in the business area life, and everything, if we are able to focus this powerful tool, our life will be much better. I mean, some people say, no, this cloud is going to come and junior employees are going to lose their work. I think we need both, but maybe we are going to be faster getting decision. We're going to be faster, fixing problems. And nowadays, and this not talking in life, just in business, if you are not in the cloud ChatGPT world, you are losing a big opportunity that your competitors for sure, and they are approaching and doing tests. So I'm maybe 2 mornings in every week. I am 2 or 3 hours looking for things I can do, testing, retesting. Some things I do finally don't have any sense. I just leave it. But I have created a lot of projects inside cloud, financial, legal, product, marketing, optimization of the channels, public solutions. As in other countries, in Spain, if you are doing an innovation product, you can receive funds from the government.
Yeah.
And that was, in the past, that was horrible to get all the data documentation. Now with cloud and ChatGPT, it's, I need this, pom, 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 and you send, and then, it's much easier, and maybe you can go to get funds from 3 different helps from the government, and 2 years ago, 1 year ago, maybe I only can take one, and there are a lot of problems and mistakes, in what you were doing. So it's great. Nowadays, we are doing a medical device. In the moment I started to create the plan of the roadmap of this medical device without cloud, for me, very impossible. I always tell my wife that I'm a monkey creating a bike, and I have cloud, so I can ask a lot of things because I'm not a medical profile, but I'm creating a medical device. Of course, I have a consultory business which is helping me, but without cloud, I wouldn't be able to speak the same language than that medical. So I'm able to create that initial plan to go to the consultory business to create the medical. And nowadays I have 4 employees, and maybe cloud can be in the second on the third level of using, helping me. I mean, so it's helping us a lot in different ways.
Yep.
And we still have to study more and create more agents, models, which could help us to automatize a lot of things in the e-commerce world.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. Yes, I mean, of course, the tool is a massive unlock if you know how to use it properly. I mean, it's incredible the productivity gains that you can benefit from. And thank you, by the way, for going through the wide range of use cases that you are deploying AI inside the company at the moment. It's fascinating to hear that and to hear how it's being done at the coal face.
Because I don't know. Sorry for interrupt you. Because I don't know if it happens to you too. I have talked with other CEOs, entrepreneurs, and a lot of them tell me the same. Okay, here is cloud or ChatGPT, whatever, and here we are. This, this bridge of how can we start to do the things without time? Because the CEOs of the little business, we are all the time like firefighters, So possibly, at least here in Spain, possibly in other markets are improving very fast. But here in Spain, we have that gap, and we are not able to know the potential of these tools and how the founders and CEOs can start to make the first steps to automatize your business. And this is, I think, is the situation here in Spain nowadays.
I think it's everywhere in the world. I mean, we hear it a lot. I was in Brussels last week with some MEP members and EU commissioners, and it is a huge issue because you have this adoption gap with SMEs in Europe, where AI adoption within enterprise is wherever it is, but obviously it's growing very strongly. At the SME level, you have exactly what you described. You have this chasm where people, I think, are scared because they don't understand the technology, they don't understand how it works and what it can do for them. But I think the biggest misconception is that they're going to need to invest time in order to be able to, on the other side, reap an ROI on that time invested. Whereas the irony or the cool feature of AI is you can use the system to teach you how to use the system. That's what we always tell our clients. We say, well, look, you don't know where to start. That's perfectly okay. Ask the system, where should I start? Like, if you're asking yourself the question, you should ask the AI the same question, and then you will be very surprised by the answers. And you can even do, okay, I have 10 minutes today. Tell me how I'm going to learn how to use or make the best use of you for those 10 minutes. And then tomorrow we're going to do 20 minutes, and so on and so forth. And little by little, just like your journey, I imagine with Claude, once you start becoming quite proficient in the way the system is good at and what its limitations are, and obviously then the sky is the limit, right? You can start building anything, because everyone can talk and everyone can just express thoughts into a sentence and just say, go and do this for me.
Yeah, completely. I completely agree. And I do sometimes something similar, and I ask Cloud. The problem that I see sometimes is when you have to explain um, the process of your business, that will take a journey, some time. You have to do the context. So the decision I made, at least 1 or 2 months ago, maybe I will change in future, is I want Cloud to do the easy things which can be automatic.
Yeah.
And then with these informs, co-works, artifacts, I will try to give some context.
Yes.
And will be a moment that I will ask Cloud, you know my business better than me. Tell me how can I improve the sales? How can I improve my P&L, my margin? That type of questions. I think if I start to give the information without an action, will be horrible. But if we start to work together, and some problem, another problem, you will meet my company much better, and you will be a better assistant, co-CEO, chief god for me, and will help me in the next month. And I hope this will be like this. Nowadays, I'm in love, as I told you.
Yeah, chief god, it's good. I've never heard that terminology before, but it's a very good one. Borja, last question for me. What's one lesson every e-commerce entrepreneur should learn earlier?
I always say the same. Don't be in love with your e-commerce. I mean, if it works, if you have a market fit, go on. And like we say in Spain, pon todo el fuego, get all your time and your strength. But if that's not work, you have to leave it and go to another business, another area, another idea. So I always tell to the new entrepreneurs that ask me that you have to create an MVP. If that little product don't seems that it's gonna fit the market, no worries. You haven't lost time, money, and you can pivot. I don't know, it's pivot in English. It's pivotar in Castellano. Is to change your way. If you are sure that's the correct way, let's go. But if not, don't be in love with your project.
That's such good advice. I absolutely love the conversation, the human aspect of it, the very touching origin story. I think you're an incredible founder and an incredible operator. You don't give yourself enough credit. You're very humble, which is also very endearing. But congratulations on the journey so far, and then I hope we have you as a guest soon again when you have something interesting to happen to report. Maybe not 26 countries anymore, but 127 countries. I think that's how many countries there are in the world.
We'll try.
So world domination. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for appearing on the podcast.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Eric. As you have told me, I have to tell you too. It was just a friend conversation. Thank you very much, because not everyone is so good to do the conversation as friends. So thank you. I have felt very good, very easy for me. Sorry for the audience about my English. I lived 1 year in Australia, but it was like 10 years ago, and I forgot vocabulary, expression, whatever. So sorry about my English, and I hope your audience liked this contents, our history. So thanks for everything, and it has been a pleasure.
I'm sure they will, and your English is perfect. And by the way, for our audience, before we stop, where can they find you, and where can they find Professor CBD?
Our website is ProfesorCBD with one S, because it's in Spanish.com. So in our website, you can find all our products. Then we serve to about 200 shops across Europe with our brands, which are La Cordobesa Flowers, Acuna Oils, Hakulab for cosmetics, Kamikaze CBD for vapes, and Nala Tails, which I will tell you in another chapter, which is the story of my pet and why I trade this number. But if you want to find us, you can find ProfesorCBD.com. And of course, I'm in LinkedIn to help anyone who needs my help. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Borja. And see you guys on the next episode. I don't even know how to end this. This was such an interesting conversation. See you guys next time.